So, in the last 24 hours, the internet has officially exploded because Variety reported that Robert Downey Jr. is in final talks to enter into the cast of Captain America 3, believing that this will kick off the Civil War storyline. Before we talk about tonight's episode, let's go ahead and talk about what this means for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm gonna hold off my opinions till the end because I feel like you guys might yell at me. But I know Kayla has been dying all day.
My body is ready.
Kayla, there's a list of things not to say on the internet.
The particles are moving around. That's what's happening.
Captain America versus Iron Man. I want to see it. It's gonna happen. I want both of them to just battle each other out. It's gonna be so awesome. You kind of already saw the separation in Avengers. You're going to see more of that in Age of Ultron. It's going to be amazing, but it brings up what's going to happen with the Infinity Gauntlet story.
Yeah.
True, true. What do you guys think? Where do you are you pro Civil War? Are you anti Civil War?
I'm all for Civil War, and I don't know how it can work since Sony has Spider-Man and Fox has mutants and X-Men, and I would love it if they were somehow Marvel was able to get them to all work together and split the profits, but I don't see that happening. But the Marvel Cinematic Universe has changed storylines that were so great in the comic books that you couldn't imagine being changed and eliminating characters and stuff, but they did it, and they did it amazing. So I have faith. I have faith in them.
Yeah, definitely. I think that, I mean, they're so adamant about how much they love the franchises that even are owned now by other studios, like Sony, because they've had the talks about Spider-Man maybe joining in because, you know, Amazing Spider-Man 2 didn't do so well. So, you know, in order to promote the characters, maybe they can bring him back because they both, Sony and Marvel Disney, kind of own the character, so they might bring him in. That will expand the universe, and I think that the whole dichotomy of what the Civil War arc puts onto the Marvel Universe will be like a really brilliant extension and expansion of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So if they start it off, they will sow the seeds in Captain America 3, and I think it will carry on for the next few Marvel movies, including Avengers 3. So that's going to be an exciting movie.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing Spider-Man in the mix, hopefully. I mean, we know that he reveals his identity.
No spoilers.
Well, if you haven't read it yet, you guys need to go
Get
read
out
it
there and
right
do it.
now, please. But what do you think?
Okay, so this has been a day of me having conversations. I talked to my friend Dylan, who actually is one of the people who's responsible for getting me into comic books, and we talked about it because I wasn't sure. Are we ready for Civil War yet? We haven't got as big of a roster, and my issue with it is this. I know a lot of people love Civil War. I like the Civil War comic book, but as we have seen, and as Mark brought up, there have been a ton of storylines that have been put on screen that are not frame for frame from your comic book. Winter Soldier has been said to be one of the best Marvel movies that they created. Winter Soldier on film versus Winter Soldier in the comic book, very different. Big lack of...
Both excellent.
Both excellent, but big lack of Red Skull in the movie. Yeah. Absolutely none, who was a central point to the comic book story. So, I think that what we have to, as fans, be prepared for is that this is not going to be the Civil War that we read. I think it will have the heart of it, but think about this. There is no secret identities in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Tony is Iron Man. Steve is Captain America. Thor is Thor. The only one I think is a little shady, is if people know, is Hulk. Like, I don't know if everyone knows that Bruce is Hulk.
Well, everyone in the government at least knows that he is Bruce Banner.
Right.
Yeah, what I think it's going to come down to is a continuation of what we saw in Winter Soldier of civil liberties. Captain America saying, you can't tell me exactly what I can and can't fight. You know, I'm fighting for right, I will fight for what is right forever. If they did it the way, if I had my way of doing it, and I think this might be an interesting way to do it, Civil War is not one movie, but is a phase. Starts in Captain America 3, goes through the possible 4 or 5 movies that we'll have between that and Avengers 3. You can still do Infinity Gauntlet in Avengers 3, and as my friend Dylan pointed out, and I thought this was brilliant, it could bring them back together. And then you've got, you know, Chris Evans is only signed on for that movie as his last one. We can say our goodbyes. We can have the reconciliation between Tony and Steve that I love very much.
And then he can maybe sacrifice himself for the greater good of the team.
And then Bucky can pick it back up. Like, we're set up. Sebastian Stan's got 9 movies to do.
That's true. He's got a big, long contract going on.
There's a lot of things that I think will be good. In the end, I believe that whatever they put on screen, I will love.